Hello, welcome to another unboxing. This time it's a Noctua NH-D15 cooler, D-type premium cooler. I've got an old 2600K chip, I'm still using that, and the other day I broke the fan on my Arctic freezer and I thought, well, let's have a change. It wasn't working very well after that. The temperature's got up to about 60 degrees, so definitely needed replacing. I tried to tape another fan on, it didn't work. So there we are, and at least if the fans go on this one you can just pull them out and replace them. It hasn't got a special bit that clips on like my Arctic freezer did. Anyway, so it's a bit of an emergency unboxing because I haven't got my computer working at the moment. It's horrible being offline. So let's see what we've got in here. I've got the feeling this is quite a big cooler. So, and of course these are like the Rolls Royces, aren't they, of coolers, Noctua. I've got a few of their fans, very good fans. I don't like the colour scheme, but I like the fans. It's all very well packaged. There's a fan there. That's the main cooler. Very well packaged, isn't it? So what do we have here at the NH-D15? We've got a cooler that is for Intel LGA2011. Also LGA1150, LGA1150, 115, 1155, LGA1156, and AMD, AMD2 Plus, AMD3 Plus, FM1, FM2 backplate required for that. So luckily I don't have to send off for anything else, but it looks like they will be supporting all sorts of different chips with this. 6 heat pipe, dual tower design, wide and thin stock and expanded heat pipe layout, high RAM compatibility in single fan mode, dual NF-A15 140mm fans, PWM support and low noise adapter, excellent component cooling, SecuFirm mounting system, compatibility with past and future sockets, so hopefully I'll be able to just take this off and use it on the next chip whenever I can afford the chip and the motherboard and the RAM. So see, I'm still using the 2600 till it gives up and it overclocks nicely, so we've got an extra gig on air with that one. Right then, so let's go for the main unit first, in case you don't want to watch the rest of the video. Let's move this thing out, get it out. Doesn't want to come out of there, so right, here we go. Yeah, it's pretty hefty, isn't it? So where are we? We are, it's about 15 centimeters wide or long, 14 centimeters wide. Height is about 17 centimeters, something like that. It's also got cutaways for the RAM, so you can also put one fan higher than the other if needs be, if the RAM's in the way. I'll have to find out a bit later, and I'll put the fitting on the end of this video in case anyone wants to see that. So let's carry on with this. Well, it's certainly very well packaged to survive the local carrying company. So one fan in situ already. It's spring-loaded tighteners. And not a copper bottom. It's shiny, I don't know, silver, who knows what it is. Stainless steel bottom. So that's the actual unit itself. Then we've got, let's move that over there. Then we've got the other fan. I think you can even put another fan on top of that. But I don't think you get much more gain from it. So these have got little rubberized areas to help keep the noise down. Of course that depends how it's fitted, doesn't it? I don't know if it's going to work in this situation or not. But these are the new PWM fans, not like the model before. They only have the 3-pin. And what have we got in here? So here's the mounting system. So it's quite a sizable backplate, nice sturdy looking thing. I think when you've got something that heavy, obviously if you've got it in a tower or something and the motherboard's on its side like that, there's quite a bit of weight hanging on the motherboard there. So be careful how you move your computer when it's got coolers on of this size. So obviously this goes underneath the motherboard, this goes on top. I guess something like this. And then this unit accessories. Oh, hang on, there's some more parts to the mounting system. Oh, this is for an AMD. So the difference with the AMD, there's different standoffs because there's standoffs in here. And different shaped altogether. Anyway, there's the AMD. What else have we got? Oh, we've got a nice deep Phillips head screwdriver to help with fitting. And goodies. Oh, well, got a nice badge for starters. Fills metal with 3M tape on the back. That looks quite nice. I guess this must share the load, so I don't know if it'll work on full speed with that. Anyway, if you've only got one connection, there we are. And a few others. Oh, low noise adapter, so this must have a resistor in it. Low noise adapter, so you've got two, one for each fan. And I guess this is just a Y adapter then, is it? With no, just a Y cable. So I guess I'll use that, so it's CPU, coming from the CPU on the motherboard rather than a chassis or anything like that. And I don't know how good this paste is. I usually use the Arctic Silver. So I've had good results with that in the past. I've also, what else have we got here? That must have come with something. That was it. Oh, there we are. So Arctic Silver, what have I got? Arctic Silver 5 is the one I've got. And I'm just going to put a little P in the middle of the CPU this time and try it that way. I normally put a line, but as I gather, the P is the way to go. But I guess everyone's going to have an opinion on the best way to tim your CPU. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm not the greatest expert in the world, but it seems to work okay for me on air cooling overclocking on a 2600K. I'm hoping to get a gig over the stock. Can't tell until I've actually got it up and running. So this video, that's the end of the unboxing, and I will then carry on this video with the placing on the motherboard once I've got the other one to pieces a little bit. Okay, so just a quick look at my motherboard. Z77 Sabertooth, and this is what I had trying to work. I taped this on, but no, wasn't going to have it. It needed the plastic around the sides. Made a big difference, so it went up to about 68 straight away as soon as I turned it on, so no, that wasn't going to happen. But there we are. So you see I was using one of their fans, they're very good. But the original one on this broke, so I thought, what the hell. You know, it always has a stirring device underneath to stop any heat gathering there, which I thought was quite a nice design. So we'll have to see how this one fares up in comparison. So I'm just going to get this off the motherboard a moment. Put that down there. Thank you cable ties for trying your best. Now, I've already loosened this off a bit. A little bit more in there. You see the RAM's quite high on this one, you see? So it's going to be interesting to see how this new one fits. Okay, there we go. And I'd only just put the tin on last night, so it was just starting to spread. So goodbye to the Arctic Silver, Arctic Freezer. I can't remember which revision this one was, but you know, I've had it for quite a few years. And look how it compares to the new one. Yeah, it's like you're sort of getting two of them, really, isn't it? So I'm expecting this one. This has been a good cooler, though. Let's not diss this cooler. This was a good cooler. You know, it was fine for overclocking too. It was just damaging that fan. And you know, I've had it for quite a few years. I've had the motherboard for quite a few years as well. This is the Sabertooth Z77 with the little fans, and there's a fan here also in there. And you can see it, it's in there. Sort of. Yeah, there you go. And that keeps a positive air flow, and it's meant to keep dust down. And there's dust, look, collecting on top. So I'm going to give this a little clean up, and I'm going to take this old mount off. I've just noticed what my problem was. Look, this had been damaged at some stage. I don't know if it's when I was just putting it back on, over tightened it or something, but the whole thing's broken out, so I never got the pressure. So maybe it would have worked with that fan, but this is gone. So yeah, definitely time for a replacement. Okay then, so I've removed my old cooler, and it was in a bit of a bad state. I should have noticed it before, I think. I've cleaned off my 2600K CPU. I've given it a vacuum. I've taken these out and give them a little clean on the contacts, and generally given it a vacuum all round and on the back, clean it up a bit. Okay, so I've taken out the old plastic mounting. It's all plastic, and I'm going to put in a nice substantial piece of metal. I tell you what, this is a lot better, this. And it's perfect. You see, it fits perfectly. So there we go. That's part one. So this one, backplate goes through, so the bolts are there. Then the spacers go next. Place the backplate on the rear, the main board, so the bolts stick through the mounting holes. Put the black spacers onto the bolts of the backplate. Then add the mounting bars. So this is a lot easier for this one. There we are, all ready for mounting. I've cleaned the die, so all it's left now is to actually put this unit on. It's going to go like that. Line up these with these. I see, So I've used this the other day, so I normally push a little bit at the end and wipe it off first, just to make sure you've got no dried out old stuff. And then I'm just going to use the new method now, which apparently is just putting a P's worth on there. Let's zoom in for that. Something like that, not too much. I'm doing them up a little bit at a time on each side to start with. Now I got it. At least I know this time it's tightening onto a nice metal plate and it's not all plastic. I'm still taking it easy. So these are sprung this time, and these actually go over the nuts, the bolts that stick out. This goes over that. That's it, it's hit its end stop, so that must be the correct spring pressure, and don't force it past that. And likewise, when I tightened the other nuts down, I just tightened them till there was resistance and not giving it too much of a turn after that. And as you can see, it nicely misses the RAM here. So that's quite handy. I mean, I guess this is an old motherboard. I don't know how many of you still got one of these. And I just noticed my RAM sticking out as well where I cleaned it earlier. So there you go, have a look at that, this Vengeance one. And I was running this at 1600, yeah. And these are 8s. Okay, they're all in nice and firm. So it's just left to put the fans in now and wire it up. So I'm going to attach this one to here. I've seen a lot of people have got it on like this, but I mean, you know, half the fan is like blowing over the top. Much better to put this fan for this unit here, push, and this fan on this side, push. That's what looks best to me anyway. I mean, you can put virtually the whole fan in. And it's even now, it's still got a bit over the top. Okay, and now the second one. And of course I've got this here on the Sabre too, so it's gonna so it's, yeah, you can't win either way, can you? It sticks out over the top here too, but less so than on the RAM side, that's for sure. That holds it on a lot more securely. Yeah, there's a bit of spring to it now. Yeah, they're much, yes, so watch that. So although I was trying the gentle approach, actually just pulling it a bit more, that's got some spring to it now, so it's much better held on. So I've got both fans going that direction, so towards the back. I've had to have it that way because I've got a big fan here on my test bed, so I'd give an extra bit there. Okay, so I'll just connect it up, and I guess the last part of the video will be showing you it running. So here it is in situ. Here's my motherboard on my test bench. That's where I normally have my computer. Now that whining noise, that's not these fans. These fans, look, they're really quite quiet. And I've done the case fan down a bit lower. Well, not case fan, optional extra fan, so I got a bit of blow across there. You see, it's quite a big unit. But it fits, you know. Just around behind there, it's okay. And that winding's coming from that little, I don't even see it, there's a little tiny fan down there. That's where the winding's coming from, and there's another one in the front. And I've turned them down to low. But would you believe if I told you that the computer's flat out right now at 100%? And not only is it 100%, it's overclocked as well. So there we go. CPU 100% used, running at 4.29 gigahertz, and it's the LGA1150 socket I've got running. It's the Intel Core i7 2600K, which normally runs at 3.4 gigs. So it's nearly running at a gig faster. And look at these temperatures. So it's been running like this for about half an hour, and I've had it on for an hour before that, just doing little tasks. So this is the first sort of hard run, and I reckon I'm going to be able to overclock it quite a bit more. So very impressive. So an average of 55 centigrade under 100% load at 4.29 gigahertz. Remembering that it's K i7 2600K, which runs at 3.4 gigs. So a nice easy overclock there. And the temperatures, that's what the temperatures were on idle with my other one when it was broken. And that's it flat out. Hardly any sound at all. So I've got two fans here. I've got two fans on the 780 and one big fan. And two little ones, and it's the two little ones that are making all noise. But this thing is much quieter than my Arctic freezer was. It's on full blast and just the sound of air. We took that whining noise away and stood back about here. It's actually fine. It's just the whining noise you can hear. Oh, there's another fan at the bottom, of course, with the power supply. Anyway, there we are. I've rescued one very tortured chip that was running at 98 centigrade, and it still seems to be working alright. So very lucky me. So I don't think I can afford a whole new motherboard and chips and RAM and everything right now. Anyway, there we are. The first few hours, I'm very impressed with this cooler. If you're wondering about getting it, you can move it around as well, so it doesn't have to be facing that way. You can have it facing 90 degrees or 180, opposite to what it is there now. But it's a sizable unit, so if you had it in a tower where the motherboard's on the side, I'd be very careful when you move it. But it has got a nice, on the LGA1150, it has got a really nice brace, as you saw earlier on the back of the motherboard. So it's much better than the plastic one I had before. So there we are. Thanks for watching.